the problem I have is every time I say, oh, horoscopes are silly, then someone says, what are you? And then I say I'm a Leo, and they say,
of course you are. I mean, literally, have you ever met more of a fucking Leo?
This is the
What?
My next guest, you know her, you love her. Please welcome the phenomenal Busy Phillips.
Hi. Hello.
I got a little.
Hello. Hi. Where do I sit? What's happening?
You can sit right here.
Okay.
You can sit right here next to me.
All right. Hi. Ooh. Hello. Hi. Oh, you're wearing my merch. Okay.
Nice.
My merch not for sale here, but on my website.
You're wearing Busy merch.
It's from my podcast. Busy Phillips is doing her best.
Did you know what this show was? You had no idea. That's great. That's good.
That's good. In new audiences.
Crossover.
It's why people do other people's podcasts.
Yes, it's happening.
If you don't know, the one thing they tell you when you start a podcast is now what you have to do is go be on a bunch of other fucking people's podcasts. So which ones do you like? And I said, I don't listen to them.
Wow, except for this one.
Always. But I like you.
Yeah, we like each other.
We like each other.
We like
IRL.
each other.
Mm-hmm.
There was we spent time together when we were both in New York, and there was a moment where we were on the cusp of a regular friendship.
We could have been friends.
And then it just didn't happen.
You moved back here.
That's right.
And I had to fucking stay there.
Yeah.
Which I'm not happy about.
Well, let's talk about that because there was an incredible piece in the New Yorker this month about a garage sale.
First of all, I need to start with this. It looks like neither one of us.
No.
It is so fucking vaguely insulting to both of us in so many ways. To Mark, it's maybe racist. Like, it looks like I don't know. It could be.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
like,
No, I'm not. I'm just thinking about it.
Anti-Semitic.
Sure. Right.
Like, it just like, he does not look like that. I don't look like that. I don't know what that is.
You know what I find? I don't think this looks like you, and the point I'm making
does not look like Mark.
I'm making an unrelated point to this, which is one thing I think when people say oh, I don't like myself in this photo, there's no real winning, right? You can't say no, I think you look good, because then they're like, well, if you think this is good and I think this is bad,
no one thinks this looks like us.
No one thinks this looks like us. I'm making a separate point now.
Got it.
Which is, when someone shows you a photo and they're like, I don't like myself in this photo, to say you actually think they look good is to say this is the best they can do and what they think is ugly. But to say you don't like them is to say you don't like them in a photo. So I think what you got to say is, it just doesn't look like you, which I'm now realizing is something I said to Chris about his headshots.
Do they not look like him?
It actually, his headshot doesn't look like him.
Can we see it?
We'll put it up on the screen. Can we put it up on the screen? Oh, we don't have it yet. Still being touched up. Okay. Now,
what is that?
Now, here was what was interesting about this piece.
Tell me.
Now, I remember when you were first going through the process.
You were there.
I was there.
We got stoned.
And I hung out. And this is a piece about how you guys are staying friends.
Yeah.
And having a garage sale together, selling off the shared
life
items of your life.
Yeah.
But I remember we got dinner together, and you were like friends, and we had pizza.
Yeah.
And I was glad I was stoned.
Me too. Did it feel was there tension?
No, but it felt like no, there was not tension, but it felt like it was I think that you were both. There was not tension and there was not a problem, but the assumption that other people would find a problem led to the two of you trying to prove there wasn't a problem, which there never was. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I remember that you and I got stoned.
We did.
Mark doesn't get stoned, but I remember we did.
And then we met him for pizza.
That's right. So maybe you and I were just really stoned.
Yeah. I think that was part of it.
I do too.
Now.
But also, to say that, I want to say this. I think that culturally we don't have a good way. Look, Gwyneth Paltrow did the thing and everybody made fun of her, right? Consciously uncoupling. And the truth of the matter is we all live longer than we should or whatever. And
not enough people are saying it.
You know what I mean? And relationships evolve, and just like friendships do, just like business relationships do. And honestly, if you are a person who, especially if you have kids with a person, it is sort of your only objective to raise psychopaths or like non-sociopaths or people, or just like maybe just people who can like, I don't know, grow up to like be on a dating app and not be an asshole. So like, and so from that point, I think that you have to recognize that there are different ways to separate and change one part of your relationship while maintaining another. And I think that Mark and I worked really hard for many, many years before we like decided to separate, before we told people we were separating, to figure out how to like move forward adjacent, but not necessarily together. And whether or not that seems to other people like we are trying to prove a point, like I actually don't care, because all I actually care about is myself and my children and him and the family that we committed ourselves to.
That's so sweet. We were both. Yeah,
true.
We were stoned. I remember this.
We were.
And I remember then you told Mark that you told me that you were separating or maybe getting divorced at that point, and you said you told Lovett he's gonna tell everybody, and I didn't. You had a sponsor at your divorce garage sale. How did you approach the sponsors? How do you approach a yerba mate and say, "Hey, I'd like your brand to be in on
I don't know if you know it. It's hard out there. You know what I mean?" No. Well, here's how it actually happened. I didn't have any say in that. But my dear friend Liz Wolfe, who owns Cure Thrift Shop in New York, which is an incredible like place. 100% of her proceeds go to research for type 1 diabetes at her thrift store. And I met her because Amy Sedaris had done some like pop-up sales with her and stuff. And
what a cool life you have.
No, it's
just
honestly
meeting people through Amy Sedaris. For most people, they meet people to get to Amy Sedaris. For you, Amy Sedaris, a mere conduit.
She plays my mom on Girls Five Eva.
Cool.
It was
her.
a dream.
Incredible.
But anyway, so Liz Wolfe like was the one who sort of was like, let's just do this like weird huge sale, and she had like been someone from the yerba. Was it yerba mate?
It was yes. It was some
something.
Kind of,
it was like a drink.
A yerba mate.
It was a drink, and they like asked her if they could come, and then she asked us, and Mark and I are like, I don't care. Are you gonna sell our stuff? Like,
this
what's
divorce
happening?
brought to you by Sky Vodka.
Hey, guess what? Mark and I split it halvesies, and we donated a large percentage to the National Network of Abortion Funds. That's $18,000.
That's great.
$18,000 to the National Network of Abortion Funds.
And I just want to close this.
It's not what Olivia Rodrigo is able to donate, which is incredible, but I'm not Olivia Rodrigo. I'm just going to say it.
Not with that attitude.
No, that's right. Never.
One final sentence from this piece, because I truly loved it. You said, once you live without something for 3.5 years and you open up a box and look at it, you're like, wait, do I need that? Like my child's first tennis racket? I mean, she doesn't play tennis anymore. She's not going to Wimbledon.
It's true. It's true. What are we holding on to these things for?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We had to get rid of so many things. She's not mad about it. You also have to give your kids something to talk about in therapy when they're 25.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I could have gone to Wimbledon.
Busy, in the new season of Girls Five Eva, you sing an amazing song.
Yes, I do.
Called Is There a Me or Is It Me Just Guys?
A question I have asked myself so many times since I was 14 years old.
Well, is there a me or is me just guys?
John.
Yeah.
There is a me. And it's mostly guys.
Now, inspired by that song, we wanted to see if you could definitively answer the question conservatives have been asking for almost a decade.
Wow.
Which is, what is a woman?
What is a woman? What is a woman?
First question. Is a woman someone who enjoys a long bath almost every night, exactly like our producer Kendra, which some might say is in fact too much bathing for normal human skin?
Well, much like Kendra, I also enjoy a really long bath almost every single night. In fact, I was staying for free with my best friend since I was 5 years old, Emily, here in Los Angeles. And then I moved to a hotel with a bath because my bathing was suffering at her house.
Hey, I don't think you needed to say for free.
There's a possibility that someone could charge you.
Yeah, no, for sure.
For a room.
But I think if you say
at this point,
no, absolutely, 100%. But I do think if you're saying I'm staying with a friend, the lack of a surcharge is implied. I'm just thinking about it. It's not nothing wrong with thinking. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just thinking out loud.
I like was picking up like dinners and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
no, I'm not.
I was like,
I'm not saying.
like,
I'm sure you're a
she's
good
letting
house
me stay
guest.
here. Like,
That's
I was
the
like,
best.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't. I don't turn off the lights, and that's like an issue. I'm not great at it. I leave cabinet doors open. I have ADHD.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
No, it's hard to close them.
Yeah.
It's hard to close them.
Yeah, I'm one of those.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes, baths. I'm a woman.
Is a woman a human who believes in horoscopes?
Mostly. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Do you think that?
Tell me. Tell me.
Here's the problem I have.
What do you have?
I don't.
Talk to me, John.
The problem I have is every time someone says, every time I say, oh, horoscopes are silly, then someone says, what are you? And then I say, I'm a Leo. And they say,
of course you are. I mean, literally, have you ever met more of a fucking Leo?
This is the
What? When I say I'm a Cancer, and then I'm like, but Leo rising, people are like, now it all makes sense.
So interesting.
I don't know. Is the tide affected by the moon? Yes. It's all water.
The tide is affected by the moon.
But we're like mostly fucking water and we're affected by the moon. I'm sorry. We just are. The planets do a thing. It happens. I don't know.
Is that how it got? That's what it's doing? It's the tides?
Honey.
Is that what it is?
Honey, I bleed on a full moon. I ovulate on a new moon every fucking month since I was 12. I had to think. I couldn't remember, but that's it.
Is a woman a being who is looking forward to Beyonce's new album, Cowboy Carter?
Are you kidding me? Yes. Also, everyone. Who isn't?
Producer Kendra today I came in and I said hello and she did not clock it at all. And I said, hey, how are you? Nothing. And then I startled her and then she took out her AirPods and she was like, I'm listening to the album. And I was like, but it's not out yet. She's like, it's out in Australia. I have a VPN. Is a woman an animal who feels like she's ready to move from body positivity to body neutrality?
I'm so fucking over it.
Over it?
Give me fucking Ozempic. I like don't care. I didn't create the fucking problem.
No.
We all live with it. We're not changing it. Everyone go fuck themselves. Sorry. All these motherfuckers have been on HGH forever. I never saw one fucking Time magazine cover about it. I'm sorry.
They were on HGH?
No, the men. The
men were on HGH. Is that how they become
That's
superheroes?
How all the fucking movie stars have been so fit after age 40. What do you think has happened? They're on drugs. And then all of a sudden Ozempic comes along and people are like, oh, that's a fucking big deal. Like, we can't have that. Like, what in God's name do you think has been happening? It's all been, oh God, people hate women so much. It's like, we didn't create this system that we live in, and anyone who has anyone in their family who deals with obesity or who has been struggled or had morbid obesity themselves knows that you are treated differently, that your job prospects are different, that the entire culture is built around shaming and being horrible, especially to women who are overweight. So I don't give a fuck about body pause or body neutrality. Let people just fucking live, but we can't do that. So now there's a miracle drug. These are miracle drugs that come in and like let people fucking have it without shame. I'm just sorry. I'm so sick of it because I'm so fucking sick of it all. Like, I can't. A woman is a person who is fed the fuck up. I will just answer that. And that is like, I'm done.
I'm a Manjaro, but it's hard to get because the diabetics keep taking it. Busy Phillips, everybody. Hey. Girls 5 Eva Season 3 is out now on Netflix. That was great.